Thank you for tuning in to this hopefully super short video on the Pythagorean theorem, which helps us answer the question, what is the distance between 2 points when the line is a diagonal? You'll see what we're talking about in class, but really quickly, here are the steps. So we're trying to find how far this diagonal line C is. And the Pythagorean theorem says that c squared, not just c, but c squared equals a squared plus b squared, where a and b are the horizontal and vertical sides of this right triangle. So let's suppose that we are working in a situation where a equals 8 and b equals 6. So our first step will be to plug in the distances for a and b. So I'll rewrite this as c squared equals something square plus something square. This was a square and b square, but now we'll bring the numbers in for a and b. So a equals 8 and b equals 6. Now, the next thing we do is square them and add them. What we mean is we'll do 8 times 8. 8 squared equals 64. And then 6 squared is 6 times 6 is 36. That's squaring them. Now we need to add them. So we'll do 64 plus 36 equals 100. And again, that is not c, that is c squared. So we squared them and added them. Our next move to find how much c is to take the square root of both sides. So you'll see me remind you like this. So the square root of c squared, you see duplicate c's, so this is c. And it equals, and here 100, break it down looking for duplicates, that's 10 times 10. So that means that the square root of 100 is 10, and you just found how long c is. This diagonal c equals 10 units. So we have a triangle with 6, 8, and 10 units. Okay, so we're going to do the same kind of example one more time, but with numbers that are a little bit less friendly. Here we go. So this time, let's suppose we're looking at a triangle with, let's call it 3 and 6, and we're trying to find this diagonal length c. Sorry that this triangle is sloppy. So again, we'll say that c squared equals a squared, call it 3 squared, plus b squared, call it 6 squared, like this. So what did we just do? We just plugged in the distances for a and b here. Now square them and add them. So c squared equals 9 plus 36 equals 45. Now you know how much c squared is. So now, to figure out what c is, we take the square root of both sides. So again, this is the square root of c times c, so that is c. Gotta move this up. And now we will say the square root of 45. Well, 45, that's 9 times 5. No duplicates there, but then that 9, that's 3 times 3 times 5, like this. And this shows that we have duplicate 3's. So that means 3 can come out in front of the radical, and 5 is left under the radical, so the distance c, in this case, is 3 radical 5. This is 3 times a number that is close to 2.2. So that means c is close to 6.6 units. But we're not too worried about that decimal answer, we're more worried about getting this answer, that c equals 3 times the square root of 5. Thank you for tuning in to this video about using the Pythagorean theorem to figure out what is the distance between 2 points on the diagonal. How far is a diagonal line? And we did this in 5 minutes and 22 seconds.